Today in the Murli, Baba talks about embracing purity by following Shrimat. Now, in Hindi it is said, Shrimat par pavitra banna. So, you are embracing purity because Shrimat says so. And then there is another category of souls who embrace purity, but not because they are listening to the Murli and not because they are listening to Shrimat and Shrimat tells them to do so. Right? So there are others also who embrace purity, like the sannyasis. Now the thing is, the importance of purity, the relevance of purity is not just emphasized when Baba comes. So there is a whole dharam, sannyas dharam, which is based on this realization of the importance of purity. So there are so many people who have embraced celibacy, purity in sannyas dharam, and they have also received the regard and respect of other people in the society, because purity is a virtue and it is long recognized. And then there are about purity, it is in the sannyas dharam, and also there are people like Gandhiji who talked about celibacy, and so that was also there. So it's not a new phenomena. And in the Gita also it is written, Kam Mahashatru hai. So lust is your biggest enemy. So that is mentioned in the Gita also. So this talk about purity is not new. And so people have left homes. Now if you ask a sannyasi how to become pure, the first direction he will give you is leave your home. Yes, so when somebody says, I want to become like you, then they are directed to leave their homes. And this is why that home leaving ceremony takes place. So first they leave the home and then they are welcomed into the wherever the sannyasis stay, and then they practice it there. They practice their celibate life there. Now Baba says that purity is not a new phenomena, it's not a new practice, but the way I ask you to look at purity, approach purity, or become pure is very different from how other people recommend it. So becoming pure on Shrimat is very different from becoming pure by the dictates of the sannyasis or other people. And what is the difference? So Baba doesn't ask us to leave our homes. That has got nothing to do with purity. Yes, so Baba says, where you live has got nothing to do with purity. What you wear has got nothing to do with purity. So it's not about changing your place of residence. It's not about changing your clothes. It is about understanding that you have vices within you. There is lust, anger, ego, attachment, and greed. And that lust, anger, ego, attachment, and greed makes you engage in vicious actions. So what you do is you remember me, and then you understand. So you see that in the world we are taught that these 5 vices are normal, natural. In fact, they are your proof of normality. So if you are, if you're lustful, angry, vicious, then you are a normal person. So, but Baba says that this is neither normal nor natural, and I teach you that you are like me. So Baba today also makes a very important point, which is, I am your father, teacher, and Satguru. And father, teacher, and Satguru are 3 main figures of authority in the world who give us our identity. Yes, in the world, they give us our identity. So, father, teacher, and Satguru basically define who you are. And they also are largely responsible for your principles, or what you think is right or wrong, or the path you tread. They are very responsible for these things. So now Baba says, in the world, people call out to me all the time. They say, God, come, relieve us of sorrow, take us to a world of peace and happiness. They keep calling out to me, but they don't consider me to be their father. They also call me Parampita, but they don't consider me to be their father and themselves to be my children. So now you have to understand that I am your father, teacher, and Satguru, and I do not direct you towards vices. My Shrimat, my direction is not to make you impure. Yes, so Baba says that when you accept that I am your father, teacher, and Satguru, and that it is, and I am the biggest, figure of authority in your life, and that I am telling you that purity is your dharam, purity is your natural karam, then it will be very easy for you to stay in a household, be with family, go to work, do everything, but still know your capacity that you can be pure in thought, word, and action. And Baba also says that you must understand that it is not your nature, or it is not the truth that you're meant to remember people, places, and things. So you can do everything in the world, but you can still be in my remembrance, and in my remembrance you will always be pure. So Baba says purity, according to purity achieved by following Shrimat, is very different from purity through, penance or bhakti, or striving and struggling and going to the jungle. That's very different. So Baba says here you just have to understand that I am your father, teacher, and Satguru, and you're my child, you're like me, and my direction and my quality is purity. So it's very easy for you to be in the world, carry on with your job, and still be pure. And the importance, relevance, power of purity has been emphasized in many places. But here Baba says when you become pure by following Shrimat, then the purity that you embrace makes you eligible for a pure world, because in the pure world also this is the way purity is seen. So you live in a family, you do work, you live in a society, and still you're pure in the family, in the new world. So when you create this sanskar, then you create a new world of purity. So this is what Baba says, and Baba emphasizes today that I am your father, and you must, this is where the consciousness shift has to happen, that I am a soul and this is my father. This is my teacher, this is my Satguru, and whatever these three people of authority tell me, that's true. And here all the three is one Baba. So this one Baba, who is my father, teacher and Satguru, his word is final. If he says that I am pure, means I am pure by nature, and I take it as the truth, and I try to apply it in action, and when I do that, I realize it is the truth. So this is something that we have to shift. I remember there was this small child and in my neighborhood, and she was my friend, and so she met with an accident, but she didn't tell her parents that she met with an accident, and she only said that her leg is hurting and she had fallen down. And then the father said, no, it's not hurting, you're just making excuses, you can walk like this. So even when she had a fracture, she could go to school for 1 month. She could walk up to school and back and be in the school all day for 1 month, because her father said, you can do it. And she didn't know how to question that. She didn't know how to say, no, I can't do it, even if you think I can do it. She took that word of her father as final, and then she could walk for 1 month, and then later her father discovered that she really needed treatment, and then he got her admitted to the hospital. So although in these 20 years the society has changed a lot, and we talk about trauma of children and other things, but but earlier times it was not like that. And I see it as an example of how you are able to tap into your power when you submit to an authority. So sometimes so when you submit to an authority, you see that you are capable of things which you thought you are not until that authority told you. So Baba says, you may not think that it is possible to be free from lust, anger, ego, attachment, greed while living in a household. But I tell you, I am your father and I am free from all these tendencies. I come in the world and play my role, and I'm still unattached, I'm still extremely loveful and free from ego and anger and greed and everything. So why can't you do the same? Why can't you be the same? You are my child and you're made in my image. So you have to really wake up at Amrit Vela and think deeply about this identity of yours as Baba's child, and Baba being your father, teacher and Satguru. And this identification with Baba will give you the strength. So although in theory we have all studied that Baba is my father, teacher and Satguru, and I am a soul, but it needs to sit deep inside your heart for the power of being Baba's child to work, and you being able to tap into your purity through that power of shift in consciousness. So Baba talks about this today. And then Baba today says that this world is changing and heaven is coming, and people are very afraid of death, but you are getting ready for death. You're preparing for death. So you're preparing yourself for a new world, a pure world, by practicing complete purity at home. So it's not just the purity of body, but the purity of mind, purity of wealth, purity of word, purity of action, everything you're practicing, because you are now preparing to go to the new world. And there is nobody on earth who does this practice. People learn the art of living, we are learning the art of dying. And those who are ready for death are always ready for life. So, so that's also there. So Baba says that this life will always be taken care of if you are doing, as Baba says, and preparing yourself. Preparing yourself in the virtue of purity, because it is the virtue of purity that is the foundation of the pure world. And today Baba says something very interesting also, that destruction is a good thing. So Baba says destruction is a good thing, right? Because when the old gets destroyed, it makes way for new. So this destruction of the old world is a good thing. Yes, but have you seen this interesting phenomena that you get attached to the old and then you don't want it to go? Even if it's your old slippers, you get attached to it, and even if it is giving you trouble walking, you still don't discard it because you're so used to it. But if you just let go of that thought and embraced a new set of slippers, your legs would thank you. So Baba says that even when, because the world is old, and obviously there is so much sorrow and fear and calamities and everything in the world, so destruction is a good thing, but I need you to prepare yourself in complete purity so that you can go to the new world. Now, Baba also today tells us that just like in the government, there are three organs of the government: the legislature, the executive, and the judiciary. So Baba says that just like if you don't follow the law, then the judiciary takes care of it. So you will automatically be punished. So that's how the government works. So Baba says, I am your father, teacher, and Sadguru. I am the final authority in what the truth is. And when I ask you to be pure, and still you keep listening to Ravan, you keep listening to your vices and keep indulging in impure thought, word, and action, then Baba says, then Dharamraj will take care of you. And it is automatic. So Baba says, this is also the godly government. Do not take it lightly. If you do not follow Srimad, then there is going to be punishment. Yes. And you know what? Sometimes I am very amazed at how bhakti, the sanskars of bhakti are they don't leave us, they just keep lingering onto us. Now, Baba has very clearly told us that listening to the Murli is knowing what to do. Now, if you don't know what to do, you can't do anything, right? But then you have to do that. You have to remember Baba. You have to give up on your vices. You have to embrace purity. And then you have to understand that this life is for seva. Your occupation is you are a world servant, and this one life you have to give to spiritual seva. But I don't know, somehow magically, even while listening to the Murli every day, there is this thought that God has come, and if I am listening to Murli every day, then Baba will fulfill my impure desires. Yes. So we don't even understand which desire is impure. Sometimes, people are so engaged in self-deceit. Do you know self-deceit? We humans are experts at it. So you don't want to accept that this thought is a lustful thought, or this desire has its seed in lust, and you want to camouflage it as a pure desire. Yes, so you want to camouflage it as a pure desire, and you tell this lie to so many people that you also start believing that that is your intention. You tell this lie that you are packaging your impure desires into pure desires. So if you have greed, you will say that I want money because I want to do seva, and you say it so many times to others and to yourself that you also start believing it, and you don't really realize that it is greed. Yes, or sometimes you are attracted towards somebody and you want to stay close to that person or have a relationship or this or that, and then you have found an excuse that that place is close to Mount Abu, or that place is close to the center, and then you start saying that I want to shift there because it is closer to the spiritual, it is better for my spiritual practice. And then you tell this so many times to yourself and others that you really forget that that is your intention and that is lust. And then you start arguing that that desire is not fulfilled and Baba is not with you, but you don't understand that Baba only fulfills pure desires. Just underline this. Baba has told us that this confluence age, I have come to fulfill all your desires. Which desires? The pure ones. So, if you really have the desire to be a good yogi, the desire to be pure and free from vices, the desire to be a world sevadhari, Baba will help you and you will see that magic every day. You will see that magic every day, that if you have that pure deep desire to follow Srimat, and Baba will see that magic, Baba will see to it that that desire is fulfilled and you will experience Baba's help and magic. And if your intention is really seva, then Baba will pave that way for you to have that quality, that resource, everything for seva. But don't try to trick Baba. We are trying, and I tell you, you are not even trying to trick Baba. You tell that lie so many times to yourself that you also start believing that your intention is pure, but it's not like that. And a little scratching, you said before me, I'll scratch you a little, everything will come out. So a little scratching is required, and you can see that the intention is not seva or purity, or the intention is not to be a yogi. You're still caught up in people, places, things, achievements, attainments, and you're just using that garb of seva, that excuse of seva, that excuse of purity, and that doesn't work. And if it is really purity, if your intention is really to be pure, then Baba helps you like anything. There is one lady, and she shared her experience with me. She said that the husband locked her, and the husband took the key, and he also took the phone and switched it off, so that she doesn't wake up at Amrit Vela when she doesn't have an alarm, and she's not able to meditate. So, there are so many different obstacles that various Baba's children face. And then she said that I found out that he has taken my phone. I know that he has locked the room. So I just told Baba, Baba, you do something. I don't generally wake up without the alarm. So you do something to wake me up. What else can I do? So she said, she just told Baba, and she said, Baba, you wake me up around 3. And then she slept. And at 3 o'clock, her son, he came and he banged on the door like anything. He banged madly on the door. And then the father had to come and open the door. And the son said that I woke up to go to the washroom, and he's little, like 7-8 years of age. And then I wanted to see you sleeping. So when I tried to open the door, it was locked. So I was very afraid. So I started banging the door. And then the father had to come, and he had to open the door. So he couldn't make a scene before the son. So he opened the door, and then the Mata, she came out and she told her husband, do you still not believe this is God? So the husband was so scared. He said, okay, from today on, I won't mess with your matters. This is really something serious that you're doing. So I just thought that I'm not okay with it. So let me, make you face something. But then I don't think this is working. And he just went and slept, and he didn't disturb her anymore. So this is how Baba helps. Now you see that Baba sometimes says that you have to do everything on your own. Yes, the karmic settlement, you have to draw power from Baba and deal with it. But when your intention is to be a yogi, when you're striving to be pure, and when you're striving to to devote your life for seva, then Baba also helps you, and you see that wonder. So Baba is not here to help us finish our impure karmic accounts. Yes, so but then he is here to help us in creating pure karma. So when you are trying to create pure karma, Baba definitely helps. So what I'm trying to tell you is that Baba's Shrimat is purity, Baba is pure. And just like, when you have been a good citizen, the government is always in your favor. So Baba says, you understand that I am the godly government, I am the one who is your father, teacher and Satguru, and it is my direction that you be a yogi, a pavitra atma and a sevadhari. So when you try to do that, I will help you, and if you don't do that, then you will always also receive punishment from Dharamraj. Yes, so when you are, so do you know that you don't have any choice but to listen to what the government says? So, and that's true about the government of the nation also, and true about the godly government also. So when Baba comes and gives this law of purity, even though you have a lot of sanskars of impurity, you have to battle with them. Now Baba also today underlines that there will be a battle. There will be a battle because you see, you are in an impure world. You are living in a world where the food, the vibration, the drishti, the belief systems, the culture, the norm, everything is impure. So everything is about impurity. Now, when you try to become pure, it's not going to be easy. But Baba says, you can only do this with yoga power. So the more and more you think about yourself as a soul, and you come to the realization that you are the child of the ocean of purity, then you have the spiritual strength to be pure come what may. And that is how you deal with all the obstacles around you. And you cannot fight negativity with negativity. They will always have more of it. You know, this I realized very initially when I came into Gyan. So there was somebody who was bad mouthing me and, a lot of, talking wrong things about me. And then I understood that if I try to do the same, if I also try to deal with that thing by retaliating in the same way, like I also tried to badmouth that person and I also try to defame that person, then I'm not good at it like he is. So I'm not very good at it. That's what I realized. So I realized that, when you try to fight negativity with negativity, you don't really have enough of it. Yes, so Baba tells us that instead of raising your negativity so that you can fight with it, so again you have to become very vicious, very ill-mouthed, very below your dignity, so that you can do the same to the other person. Baba says, why don't you do what you're good at? You're good at being good, and you try that. And when you just draw in yoga power, draw in strength from Baba, and just stabilize yourself in your peace, your purity, your state of love, and do the needful in a very knowledgeful way, then Baba says, I help you, and then you are able to follow my Shrimat very well. So Baba says, even in following Shrimat, there will be a battle because it's a vicious world, and in this vicious world you are embracing purity. It's not going to be a very straight path, but then of course that which makes you the ruler of heaven can't be easy. So just by becoming pure, you are becoming the master of heaven. So if an exam has this, if an exam leads you to this position, then it has to be a difficult exam. So Baba says, yes, purity is not very easy. There is a battle, but then in this battle, Baba is with you. And Baba is helping you proactively. But you have to receive that help. And to receive that help, you have to be in yoga with Baba. So this is what Baba tells us. And then Baba today tells us that when you make good decisions, then success comes your way. But to make good decisions, you need a clean and pure intellect. Yes. So there are many ways to understand this clean and pure intellects, but I will take a very basic understanding of this today. So Baba says there shouldn't be any weakness in your buddhi. Now let's say there is the weakness of lust, anger, ego, attachment, greed in your buddhi. Will you be able to make good decisions? You see, when we are young, at that time, there is lust in the buddhi. So, from 18, 19, or I don't know, these days it is even earlier. And then what do? You waste the time in these pursuits which don't give you anything, and you don't use that time in studying or focusing on things that will matter in life. And that decision you pay for your whole life. So decisions are always a factor of buddhi. And if the buddhi is clouded, the buddhi doesn't enable you to see what is the right thing to do at this time, at this point of time. Or if you're very greedy, so I have seen many students these days who don't complete their education, and midway they receive an offer. Just after graduation, somebody receives an offer for a job and you take it because of greed. And then later, 5 years later, you realize that you could have had a job now, but you can't study now. And that you made the wrong decision at that time. But what made you make that decision? That was greed. So, when your buddhi is clouded by these lust, anger, ego, attachment, and greed, anger makes you do things which you repent later. I've often shared this, and when I was working in an office at that time, there was this person who was a dignitary in that office, and I saw that his hand was bandaged, totally bandaged. And then I asked someone, why is his hand bandaged? Then he said he fought with his wife, and then he inserted his hand inside the, that space between the door and that thing that keeps the door together with the wall. And then he just pushed the door shut. And this is how he hurt his hand. And it's just anger that makes you do these things. So Baba says that you don't get success, even material success, if your buddhi is clouded with lust, anger, ego, attachment, and greed. Then you don't get material success also. And about holistic success, the foundation of which is spiritual, a good spiritual stage, in that these vices intervene a lot. Just think about laziness. It doesn't allow you to get up at Amrit Vela. And then how will you be a successful yogi if your buddhi is clouded with laziness? Do you get it? So who is making that decision at 4 to go back to sleep and not get up? It is your buddhi which is clouded with laziness. Yes, or if you're greedy, or if you're very self-centered, those are all, these clouds on the buddhi. It doesn't allow you to do any seva. And then later, when all that you saved, all that you thought is going to be used by you goes to dust, at that time there is going to be great repentance that you didn't do seva out of it. So Baba says success means that Baba has come to give me the throne of Satyug, and I take that throne by doing as he says. But if my buddhi is clouded with vices, I cannot do it. And I make the wrong decisions, and those decisions hinder my success, my spiritual success, my attainments from Baba. So this is Baba's Murli today, and there is Mama's Vani also, which has very good points. So I would like you to go through the whole Murli with a lot of, in peace and in silence. And Baba also gave very nice point today. Baba said that when you sit in yoga, then your mind becomes peaceful, and also the vibrations around you become very peaceful. So just sit in yoga, experience that whatever Baba says in the Murli is true, and try to accumulate the power by practicing that truth. Okay?